I found myself kind of curious about what it was like to play in a minor league ballpark, and then how it's different playing in a minor league ballpark as a college player with a metal bat and a professional player with a wooden bat. And I'm like, I just so happen to have probably the only person who has done that quite a bit on both sides in Sonny DeShera. So welcome into the Barn Baseball Show. Lindsey Crosby, Sonny DeShera. Brad Law's back with us tomorrow. Sonny, coming to us from Angel Spring Training, but you went up to Madison as a member of the Auburn Tigers. You played in Madison with the Trash Pandas for like a good season and a half, right? Before they moved you out west.
Mm-hmm.
How is it different in that ballpark when you're a college player and a pro player?
Yeah, it's definitely different because in college, really every game counts. There's so much of an emphasis on winning each one because the RPI and everything. But in pro ball, you play a million games and every game feels like the next one. They all feel the same. So
yeah,
obviously there's a time that comes down to it where playoff implications come in and you start winning. But that playing in a park like that definitely helps and gets you ready for a different atmosphere because I'm sure there was a bunch of fans there.
Yeah, and it was just the things you have to deal with that are different. Like there's no backstop. It was like a little curb and then a net. And so passed balls are playing differently. It's just it puts you into an unfamiliar environment. You have to travel. You've talked before about the traveling as a team and what that can do for you and everything. Obviously, Auburn ends up winning that game against UT Martin, 14-3 on the year. I kind of want to get to like conference play starts this weekend, and we're going to talk a little bit about the Old Dominion series, but really the point of today's show is just now that non-con play's kind of over. You've got midweeks, but your big weekends are done. What have we learned about this Auburn team, whether it's hitting, whether it's pitching, defense, injury status, all that kind of stuff? What have we learned? And I think for me, the first thing that's kind of come to mind is the offense is as good as I thought it would be, but it's coming from different places than maybe I thought it would be. Yeah. And like that's kind of the biggest takeaway on the offensive side for me, which makes me think that the ceiling of this offense is now higher than I was expecting because you still haven't, Ike's batting 278. Ike Irish is batting 278. He didn't play on Sunday, didn't play on Tuesday because of that hit by pitch. Purdy's got some wicked bruising and all that. But it feels like the ceiling of this offense now should be higher than we thought it would be because of how well the freshmen are doing.
Yeah. I mean, this has definitely been a surprise because you usually don't have this many freshmen step up. So that's so cool to see with Bub and Chris and Chase.
Friend of the show, Chase Fralick.
Yeah. And then we even have Addison Klepp stepping into playing a little bit. So I thought they were going to be good, the offense, but I didn't know that they would have 5 dudes hitting over 300 and then 3 dudes hitting over 400 15 games into the season or 17 games in the season, however many games,
With one of those being a freshman. Chase Fralick's batting 400 over 16 games and 15 starts. And it's
just crazy. So, I mean, it's definitely very eye-popping and, like, just fun to see. Now, I thought they were going to hit, but I did not think they would pitch this well. This pitching staff has very surprised me.
Yeah. I want to get to the pitching staff in just a second. I kind of want to stick with the offense for a second, though, because I've been thinking on and off about who is the biggest surprise of the non-con schedule to me. And as much as it's me wanting to say it's a freshman because they've all looked so great, I'm going to go with Derek Fabian because, I mean, Fabian's second on the team in homers with 4. He should have 5 after the weekend, after Saturday, and having that homer taken away from him. That was wild.
Ridiculous.
I've never seen that before. But it's just something where he's hitting so well despite the move to a more demanding defensive position of playing shortstop full-time. He is the starting shortstop for this team. Whereas we kind of thought he was going to season opener, he's playing second base or in that weekend, right? I think that's the biggest surprise for me. I knew he was really good, right? I knew he could do something like this. But I mean, the second highest slugging percentage on the team, I don't quite think I thought he would be there, as well as a perfect 7 for 7 on stolen bases. Is there an outside shot? If you had to guess, would he get 20 stolen bases or 20 home runs this year? I think I'm probably leaning towards the stolen bases,
Mhm.
but is it outside the realm of possibility that maybe he gets to both?
That's hard to say, you know, because getting to 20 homers is the one. There's got to be a little luck in there, and then there's got to be some skill too. And he just had one taken away, so that every single one counts. So I think
That's a good point.
10 10 to 15 is definitely that's definitely going to happen. I could see that like 100%. So I mean, he could be a 10-10-20 guy, 10 doubles, 10 homers, 20 bags, and I mean he's fielding the lights out of it. He's got over 62 chances and 1 error. So I mean, he's been the leader that they needed, that shortstop. Because if you think about good Auburn teams in the past, they've had the good shortstop, and he's stepped up big time.
Absolutely. Who is your biggest surprise so far of the offense? Right, like which guy? Like because we all knew they were good, but which guy's done more than you thought he was going to?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean Chase Fralick for sure. I mean this is hard. It's so unexpected. You never know when a guy steps on campus what they're going to be, and I mean, his fall was okay. I think he did all right in the fall, and for him to just come out and be hitting 400 through 16 games, he's played in 16, so it's just crazy. It's good to see.
Yeah, I mean, 60 at bats in college, that's kind of stabilized now, right? Like this is not something that's fluky. If he was hitting 400 and he had 25 plate appearances, he'd be like, okay, that's a little different. 60 is enough for me to be like, okay, no, we were correct when we. Like this kid could be a dude. He's a dude. I do want to give a shout out to Eric Snow. He's been leading off a lot, and he's not doing some of the prototypical leadoff things. Like I think he's 0 for 1 on stolen base attempts this year. He's not really running a bunch on stolen bases, but he's been very good at taking extra bases, and he's just getting on. His on base of 481. It is the 3rd highest on the roster right now. And it feels like every single time he's up to bat, he's just lacing one, and getting on, and then moving first to third on a base hit, and then he's scoring. And it's he does, he leads the team in run score with 25.
Yep.
Feels like that's. I don't quite think I had him pegged as the leadoff man, but it's working out really well.
Yeah, I mean. Absolutely. It's so cool to see because he's also a shortstop at heart.
Yeah.
And, with Eric going down, he's had to play third, second. He's had to play all over. And so for him to be doing that and the guy's still hitting 400, like we just said, 60-plus at-bats on the season, you're still hitting 400. Something's going right there. And so that's pretty cool. And also I'm looking up and down this roster, and there is 2 guys who have more strikeouts than walks, which is unbelievable. It's 3 guys who have more strikeouts than walks. That I mean, that'll tell you the success right here for the offense because they're not just giving stuff away. It like we said, we were expecting this offense to be good, but to be this good so early is awesome. If it's going to continue to SEC play, I don't know. That's just a different beast. We all know that. So this weekend against Vandy will just be a really good test because that's a good club. They're not playing some like just low tier SEC team. They're playing the top of the top, so it'll be good to see.
Yeah, their 3 losses. I want to say it's like USC West. It's I think it's like UCLA or something. Nebraska, like a ranked Nebraska team.
Yeah.
Talking about this offense, I mean, like Cade, 11 walks to 14 strikeouts. He's one of those you mentioned, but he's been hit by pitch 10 times.
Yeah, I was just about to say
he's getting on a ton. What was your hit by pitch record when you were here? You got hit like 20-something times that last season, didn't you?
No, I don't think that many, but 10 hit by pitches in for 17 games. I mean, what are they just throwing at him? It's just crazy.
I've had some MLB folks tell me that while hit by pitches for the league kind of fluctuate year to year, and it's a little bit of luck in there, there is a bit of skill to, like, you'll see the same guys consistently around the top, and it's guys who can crowd the plate, guys who aren't afraid to not get out of the way when something comes in. And it is a legitimate skill. So if you combine the walks and the hit by pitches, he's gotten 21 free passes, which helps when he's stolen 10 bags. That's helped him, score 19 runs. I think he's tied for second on the team in runs scored. So kind of a big deal there.
No, I'm getting out of the way. I don't know. It don't matter to me. He can get hit by pitch. Good for him.
Side note, what's the most painful hit by pitch you think you've had? Like in your career?
I got hit in the head by 101 in 2023 in Rocket City.
Gross.
Hit me like right below the chin, kind of, and like below the ear. Cut my neck and ear. I broke my helmet.
Yeah, you broke your helmet?
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen a helmet get broken. That's nuts. Okay.
Smoked me.
Yeah, and ever since then, I'm sure you're like, I'm getting out of the way every single time.
Yeah, it gave me the yips on that.
Shout out to Cade for being willing to get plunked 10 times. Okay, you touched on it a minute ago, right? The offense. I'm sorry, the pitching staff looking so good. I've been racking my brain on who is the biggest surprise. To me, Sam Dutton, right? Reliever at LSU. Yeah. They gave him 2 new pitches. And after that first weekend, when he was kind of sticking with that reliever mix, I was a little hesitant about would he be able to turn over a lineup, into a second time through, maybe even a third time through. 20 2/3 innings across 4 starts. So he's averaging over 5 innings a start, 5 walks to 28 strikeouts. And he's allowed only 4 extra base hits in that entire span, 3 earned runs. Best ERA on the team among qualifiers. And I think that we've been asking now for 2 years for a guy that you could build a weekend rotation around. And obviously, Cade Fisher's had some injury issues. He talked about that when he was on the show a couple weeks ago. Sam has kind of shown, at least in non-con play so far, he's that dude you can build a rotation around to get through a winning weekend in the SEC.
Yeah, we talk about it every week with him. He just goes out there, he throws strikes with multiple pitches, and he just doesn't allow the free pass. Like he's out there competing and letting guys hit the ball. Like you said, he's not going to strike a bunch of guys out, but so far he has been. That will change for SEC play. Yeah, but you're right. He has been the most surprising for the pitching staff by far. It's been good. It's been good to see that Friday guy go out there and set the tone for the week. It just helps out the rest of the staff.
And I feel like it's been a minute since we had that reliability of, this dude's going to go out there. He's going to be able to give you 5. He's going to walk maybe 1. You're going to be in it every at bat. And I think that's the thing that you didn't have at times last year, maybe even a little bit the year before.
Yes, exactly.
When you look at the rest of this rotation, right? So Dutton's got 4 starts. Christian Jiderkin's got 4 starts. He's acclimated to college very well. Little more earned runs allowed. You kind of expect that from a freshman, but still 23 strikeouts and 20 1/3 innings. Another walk thing, only 6 walks across 20 innings. My thing here is if they're your 2, you've got so many other guys you've used to start games, right? Alex Petrovic has 2 starts. Andreas Alvarez has 3 starts. You even start a case of Carson Myers in a start. It feels like they're kind of leaning on 5 or 6 guys. Those starters, Cam Tilley is a guy who's pitched a lot. He does have a little more walks. He's like 19 strikeouts and 6 walks in 12 innings. Parker Carlson, friend of the show, has been in there quite a bit, has done really good work, 17 strikeouts. Have you learned enough about some of the depth options to be confident in an SEC weekend with this pitching staff?
I don't know if we've learned enough for them to compete for 3 games, because like you said, they've only been like depending on 5 to 6 guys. Yeah. And you really need to have 8 to 9 guys, because if you can be set up to where you got 3 guys a game, that helps. 3 guys you depend on. So there's gonna have to be a couple guys that step it up and like show out. Like, because I mean, like Murphy, like what we thought, Murphy's just trying to figure some stuff out. Watts, he's a good arm as well. So like, it's just in time it'll show, and somebody's gonna step it up. We just don't know who yet.
Yeah, and I think like I'm trying to go through my head. If you think about, you have a 5 that you trust in like Dutton, Chatterton, Tilly, Carlson, and then Andreas Alvarez. He's more of a midweek guy, but Cade Fisher, we kind of trust that he's going to, get it figured out once he gets fully healthy and gets his feet underneath him. He missed a good portion of the non-con schedule, and that's what it's for, is getting right. So you've got that. Probably start him on Saturday, but he's on a short leash. Like, we still trust John Armstrong. They haven't used him a ton, which is surprising. I think we talked about that last week.
Yep.
But it's like, who else could step up? Ryan Hetzler is a guy to me.
Yeah.
We've seen him 5 times, 5 innings. He's picked up 2 saves. He's not allowed an earned run. He's allowed 1 hit. And so if there's a guy who's not in that top 5 or 6 guys that you've thrown a ton of that needs to step up and be in that group, it's going to be Hetzler.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think about, okay, who bridges to him, right? Is it Parker? Like, you can't throw Parker Carlson every game. I mean, you could. You did that with John Armstrong, it felt like, last year. But you could. Who's that guy? Is it Jet Johnston? Is it Jackson Sanders, who I feel like has been like 3 earned runs in 10 innings? Who is that guy who steps up in the bullpen? And kind of an open question as of now.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say. Like, this weekend, I think you'll see, because I think with the first conference weekend, just about any college anywhere likes to test it out and see who's going to go out there and compete. Because, non-conference is one thing, but when you're in your conference and it's time to start winning games so that you can make your conference tourney and all time. Well, now everybody makes a conference tournament, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
That is the new rule this year.
Yeah. No double elimination. So with no double elimination now in the FCC conference tournament, it makes it even more important that every single game matters, because the difference of winning, or the difference of making a regional and hosting regional and all that things are so slim and few of wins. Like 12 SEC wins might get you a regional, but 14 SEC wins might get you hosting. So it's like, it's so close in there.
Yeah, and this is a tough line for, I think, a coaching staff to kind of manage, is you have to get guys experience to see who can do what and who you can trust. But at the same time, every game matters and you've got to win. A guy who I've been very complimentary of, and I'm not necessarily calling him out, but I think that there's a little bit of improvement you could see here, is Cam Tilly. Mm-hmm. They've thrown him 5 times. He's not gotten a single start this year, when I kind of thought he was going to be one of the starters just on the strength of that splitter. And when you kind of look into some of the numbers, I think some of the reason why he might not have gotten a start yet is the walks. He's walked 6 guys in 12 innings. Everybody else who's in that frequently used leaderboard up there, just about all of them have been starters but him and Parker Carlson. And it's because they're a little more efficient with their walks. And so not going to call Cam Tilly out. I think he's awesome. I think he's great. Mayor of Splitter City there. But I do think that an area of improvement is cutting down on that a little bit. Mm-hmm. I think he's also maybe hit 3 batters. And so a little bit more free passes there, but a guy that can really get you through. If a starter comes out of a game early, he can take bulk innings, or I do think he can be a weapon in a single inning kind of stint and then come back on a weekend if you need him to. So that's the guy I think I really want to see do a little bit more in conference play.
Yeah. And you never know. He could end up being a Sunday guy where they throw him for 3 or 4 and like they piece together the day. Yeah. But Tilly's also stuff over control.
Yeah. So his stuff is great.
Yeah. If he needs to get somebody out of a jam, he can go out there and throw 5 splitters and nobody's going to hit it. And yeah, it's hard to say, his role right now is undefined. He doesn't really have one. He just goes out there and gets people out. Yeah. So I don't know. It'll be cool to see. It'll be cool to see how the SC handles him too.
Yeah. Side note, have you ever faced him in live ABs?
Yeah, I faced Tilly. He's gross. Nasty slide or splitter. Just disgusting.
Did you hit it?
I did not. I hit him one at bat, and then the second at bat, I did not hit him.
Okay. Real quick, we kind of have to talk about it. The home run thing in the Old Dominion game.
Yeah.
So this was, for those of you who kind of missed this, Derek Fabian hits a home run. It's to left center, just where the War Eagle wall slants down towards a normal kind of height. and it hits the railing of the walkways that lead up to the seating area up there behind the wall. Like it didn't hit the wall.
Yeah,
It didn't hit
it's
the
above
wall.
the yellow.
It hits above the yellow on the railing. He's almost at third base when they finally signal home run because the ball ricochets into center field and past the center fielder, right? And he's at third base when they signal home run finally. He comes in and they review it, and after review, they overturn it and call it I assume a ground rule double. I emailed the league office asking what the ruling was on that because we never were told.
Mm-hmm.
And they never. Thank you. I'll edit it out. and they never got back to me. Like they just never told me, hey, this is what the ruling was. This is what the officiating crew said they saw. They just kind of stonewalled me on that. Have you seen something like that?
Not something that was so explicitly like seen. Like I need an explanation because that is the most ridiculous thing. That's taken away from a kid's career. Like what if Derek has 9 homers this year?
Could have had 10 right there. Yeah.
10. What if he has 19 homers? Could have been 20.
I mean, one of those things MLB teams look for is they look for 20 homers or 20 stolen bases on a defensive player. Like that's what they're looking for.
Yes. What if Derek ends the season hitting 299? Would have been 300.
Yeah.
It's stuff like that. And it's like, I don't, the video was so clear. It hits the railing, which is behind the fence.
Yeah.
Like there's a case in Rocket City, the right field kind of hangs over the right field wall a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you hit a ball high enough and it lands on that rock, they call it the rock porch. If it lands on the rock porch, it's a home run. It's not, it's in the field of play. Yes. But it's still like over, like if it hits it and comes back in, it's still a home run. Like, I don't know, man. That just sucks. It is disgusting. I don't understand with the video review and all the camera angles you can have and how clear as day it was. I don't know. I need an explanation for sure.
The most surprising thing to me, I think, was that like I would understand if it was ruled a double in play and then they said like there wasn't enough conclusive evidence to overturn it. Like I wouldn't be happy, but I'd understand at least. But to flip the call from home run to double was the most surprising thing to me, just because it looked, like you said, clear on the video what it was. Again, as of Wednesday morning, I have not heard back from the league office. I emailed them during the game on Sunday asking about that, and I expected to hear something on Monday morning. Last time I emailed the league office about a ruling, I got an email back late that night. That was SEC play though, so kind of surprised they haven't said anything. But there you go.
I mean, for the people that were there, like you can tell the difference of when it hits the aluminum wall and when it hits a railing. Like I'm sure it sounded like it hit.
Oh, like there was pictures of the spot on the railing where it hit.
I don't know, man.
Friend of the show, Jack Houdon, actually sent me a text during the game, and he's like, "Here's the spot on the railing, and you can see the mark where it hit the railing." And it's very surprising to me. All right, last couple seconds of the show here. You're probably not going to be able to be with us tomorrow for the Vandy preview. You're in the midst of spring training right now with the Angels. Yeah. Say hey to Mike Trout for us, by the way.
We'll do.
and so Vanderbilt this weekend, Josh Donaldson Day on Friday, and then 6 p.m. on Friday and Saturday, 2 p.m. on Sunday. What are your expectations for the weekend? I like to get your picks before we go.
Yeah, man, I don't know. This is so hard.
Yeah,
I mean, obviously, I want to say they're going to win the series,
right?
But there's still, as much as we do know, there's still so much unknown of this team. So, just give me 2 out of 3 because I want to be optimistic, be positive. I want them to sweep, but it's going to be something that shows the fans that what this team is about. That's for sure. It's not going to be. I don't think they're going to go out there and dominate,
right?
Because it's just you don't dominate.
You don't do that in conference play, yeah.
Yeah, maybe a game, but you don't just beat the dog out of somebody because that's not who this team is. We've seen that. They're not going to score a bunch of runs. They're going to win close games, and give me 2 out of 3.
This is not my official prediction. That comes on Thursdays, folks. But I'm thinking if Ike Irish is back in the lineup and feeling good, because, again, the bruising was kind of wicked. He hadn't played the last 2 games. If Ike Irish is back in the lineup and hitting pretty well, I think you could see Auburn take 2 out of 3 it's going to come down to they need that little extra bit of offense that he can provide. He's had a slow start to the year. They bumped him down the lineup a little bit to give him, kind of like a mental break. And then he missed those 2 days after the hit by pitch. But I think they can do it too. I think they can go 2 out of 3, but we'll get into that more with Brad Law tomorrow. This has been the Barn Baseball Show. You're listening on audio. Do us a favor, leave a 5-star review. If you're on YouTube, subscribe to the Barn Baseball Show and go to thebarnauburn.com for all of Sonny's baseball nuggets, my baseball nuggets, all of your Auburn coverage. Again, Brad Law's back tomorrow. For Sonny DeShera, I'm Lindsey Crosby. This has been the Barn Baseball Show.